All right, let's get right into it. For the last couple of years, the entire story around weight loss has been about one thing: weekly injections. I mean, these drugs were a complete game changer, creating this massive new market out of nowhere. But the ground is shifting under our feet. The next chapter, the next big thing, it's not about the needle anymore. It's about the pill. And the race to get that pill to market, well, it's turning into a full-blown gold rush.
And if you want to know just how high the stakes are, just look at this number: $72 billion. That's what the global sales for just the injectable drugs are projected to be this year alone. This isn't just a healthcare story, folks. It's one of the biggest market shakeups we've seen in a long, long time. And believe me, it's about to get a whole lot more competitive.
So here's the game plan for today. First, we'll quickly cover the injection revolution that kicked this all off. Then we'll dig into the big pivot to pills and why everyone's doing it. We're going to compare the pills and shots, the pros and cons. After that, we'll look at the new gold rush as other companies are jumping into the ring. And finally, we'll try to figure out what comes next.
Okay, so let's set the stage. How did we even get here? Well, the entire market we see today was built on the back of these incredibly successful weekly shots. They didn't just change the game, they created a whole new one.
The two big names you've heard a million times are, of course, Novo Nordisk's Wegovy and Eli Lilly's Zepbound. And the reason you know them is because, well, they work. They work astonishingly well. I mean, we're talking about an average weight loss of 17% to over 22% of total body weight. The results have been so dramatic that the demand just went through the roof, completely overwhelming the companies trying to make them. They've been playing catch-up ever since.
So you've got this blockbuster, record-breaking success with the shots. And what does the industry do? It makes a huge pivot. It's now all about creating a daily pill.
Which, brings up the million-dollar question, right? If the shots are so amazing and people are lining up to get them, why is every single major pharma company pouring billions into developing a pill? What's the thinking here? Well, it really boils down to three big reasons. First up, patient preference. Let's face it, a lot of people just don't like needles. A simple pill is way more appealing. Second, and this is a huge one, is manufacturing. It is so much easier and cheaper to mass-produce pills than it is to make sterile, complex injectable drugs. And finally, the supply chain. Pills don't need refrigeration. You don't need a complex cold chain to ship them around the world, which makes everything so much simpler.
And this isn't some far-off dream. This is happening right now. The timeline is super tight. We're expecting an FDA decision on Novo Nordisk's pill by the end of 2025, which means it could be on the market in early 2026. And Eli Lilly is hot on their heels, also looking at a 2026 launch. The era of the weight loss pill is literally just around the corner.
But, and this is a big but, it's not as simple as just swapping your weekly shot for a daily pill. Like anything, there are trade-offs. No single solution is going to be perfect for everyone.
Let's break it down side by side. When it comes to pure power, how well they work, the shots still have the edge. They're hitting that 17 to 22% weight loss. In one study, Novo's pill got to 16.6%, which is amazing, but still a bit less than the top shots. Convenience? That's kind of a toss-up. Is a quick weekly shot better than a daily pill you might have to take on an empty stomach? Depends on who you ask. Side effects are similar, but some data suggest the pills might cause a few more stomach issues. The one area where pills are the undisputed champion? Manufacturing. Way, way easier.
And that really gets to the heart of the matter. Dr. Scott Isaacs put it perfectly. Even with these differences, the most important thing here is having another option. For people who can't tolerate the side effects of one drug or just plain hate needles, having another great choice to switch to, that's a really big deal.
Now, let's get just a little bit nerdy for a second because the two leading pills are actually very different. Lilly's pill is what's called a small molecule, which basically means it's simple and can be made with traditional methods. Novo's pill, on the other hand, is a peptide. Now, think of peptides as bigger, more delicate molecules that your stomach acid just loves to tear apart. Because of that, your body has a hard time absorbing them, so you need a really high dose, and you have to take it on an empty stomach to give it a fighting chance. That tiny scientific difference has huge implications for both how they're made and how you take them.
So with this kind of money and potential on the line, you just knew it wasn't going to stay a two-horse race between Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly for long. The new gold rush is officially on, and other pharma giants are placing massive bets to get a piece of this pie.
And let's talk about Pfizer. For a minute there, it looked like they were completely out of the running. Their own homegrown obesity pill ended up failing in trials because of safety issues. It really seemed like they were just going to be stuck on the sidelines watching their biggest rivals run away with the market.
But they weren't about to give up. Nope. Pfizer decided if they couldn't build it, they would buy it. And they backed it up with this number, $7.3 billion. That's the potential price tag for their acquisition of a smaller company called Metsera. It's an incredibly aggressive, high-stakes gamble to get right back in the game.
And this move was no accident. The CEO, Albert Bourla, has been saying it loud and clear. This is the new strategy. They're going to build their obesity pipeline any way they can, whether that's in their own labs or by buying other companies. This acquisition is a direct signal that they are dead serious about that promise.
So the corporate battlefield is getting really crowded really fast. You've got Novo Nordisk racing to get the first pill on the market. You have Lilly with their easier-to-make pill. Now you have Pfizer jumping in with a whole portfolio from Metsera, including a potential once-a-month injectable. And then you have others like Roche, working on a drug that aims to be just as effective but with fewer side effects. The competition is absolutely heating up.
Now, if you're looking at this from an investor's point of view, this chart is fascinating. It basically shows how expensive each company's stock is based on its expected earnings. You can see Lilly and Novo are trading at really high multiples, 27 and 15. Then you look way over at Pfizer, and it's down at 7.7, about half the industry average. This is exactly why some analysts are calling Pfizer a potential bargain. If their huge bet pays off, the upside could be massive. So what does this all add up to? With all this competition and all these new drugs in the pipeline, where are we headed? It's pretty clear the future is going to be defined by more options for patients and absolutely fierce competition among drug makers. So what does all this mean for you, for the patient? Well, first and foremost, more choice. You'll have pills, weekly shots, maybe even monthly shots to choose from. All this new competition should, hopefully, lead to lower prices as these companies fight for customers. But the most exciting part, really, is that it opens the door to personalized medicine, where your doctor can pick the absolute best drug for your specific body, your lifestyle, and your goals.
And make no mistake, this shift to pills is not some small niche part of the market. Analysts think that oral drugs could eventually capture a quarter, 25% of the entire weight loss drug market. So you remember that $72 billion number we started with? We're talking about a slice of that pie that could be worth tens of billions of dollars a year.
Which brings us to our final question. As we look at this expanding toolkit, daily pills, weekly shots, monthly injections, is the future of weight loss going to stick with a one-size-fits-all approach, or are we finally moving towards something much more powerful, a truly personalized prescription for health?